super excited to help the talent and the athletes that are here. And then started doing some small things because people want to provide more than just come and play. That idea is gone. I'm a very competitive person by nature, and since then I started competing and fell in love, and the rest is history.
Welcome to BizPadel. Today we have a very special guest. In fact, this is the second time she comes, but this is the real one, who is Dhany Quevedo, a good friend of our podcast and also top 10 player and Padel entrepreneur. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, you were long desired. And the good news is like you're coming with fresh news, right?
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about your new company to start, and then we will get more into who are you, how do you get into Padel, what are your plans? But first of all, let's talk business. Power woman, like business.
I started Elite Sports Management about 4 months ago, and it's an athlete representation agency and sports marketing firm specifically focused in paddle right now. The idea is to expand into other racket sports and then eventually be a full-on sports management agency. But super excited to help the talent and the athletes that are here in the U.S., help them grow as players, help the sport grow, and obviously on the business side as well. So we help with partnerships, sponsorships, events. We work with clubs as well, organizations like the PPL with USPA, helping them with a lot of things, and then helping brands that are not part of Padel to introduce them to the sport, introduce them to the athletes. Many of high-level executives already play the sport, and it's a nice way to continue helping grow.
So when you started with your idea, I guess you found like a problem to solve, right? Maybe you saw clubs struggling or not really understanding how to build community, but also I've been to some events that you co-organized, and I really liked also the female focus, how you're empowering business and sports and putting that together. How did you find the sweet spot to start the company?
Well, I compete as well. Obviously, I started competing about 2 years ago, and we pay for our own training, travel, and the cost, it's costly to travel and do everything on your own. And so I started asking, there are some players that already have sponsors. So it's like, how did they get their sponsors? No, the friend, the uncle, the friend of the friend. And there's no really formal way of having that support. So my background is in tennis. In tennis, you obviously have the more established management agencies. And I asked, does Padel have something like this? No. And I'm like, well, my background is in communications and PR, my corporate background. So I know a lot about how partnerships work and how to work with brands. So I decided, I've always wanted to work in sports, and with my experience, with my career, can I mix the two? And so that's where it all came together, and that's where the idea came from.
So it's not just kind of creating your dream job, but making it also a business that is helping business.
Yes. No, yeah, for sure. I mean, I've always been very business oriented. My whole family has been in business their whole life and very, very into that. But I've always been the athlete of the family, and sports for me are, it's what I've always done. And I identify as an athlete, and being able to mix the two is a dream for me. Yeah.
Where does the name come from? How did you decide? Because you always say ESM.
ESM.
This is very American, the acronym thing.
Well, I honestly didn't think of the name to have an acronym, but it's, elite is a word that people...
it's related to sports.
It's related to sports. It's, the top. It's the best. And Padel is a very elite sport. But it's, when you look at it, it's the types of people that play, especially here in the U.S., and it's more of a lifestyle sport. I like the name. It just kind of stuck with me, and ESM came afterwards. It wasn't something planned, but I think it aligns well with what it is,
So let's say you started your business. You've done some events. You're started to run. Every time I meet you have more and more news. So maybe we need to do a recap. But how does it work with the talent side? Do you go and recruit them, or they come to you and as you may be a right fit?
Yeah.
How does it work in order to help some maybe potential players that are watching this and they're like, oh, maybe I qualify or maybe I'm not the right fit? How does it work?
Well, there's been both sides. There's been the athletes that I proactively went and spoke to, and there's been athletes that have come and said, hey, how can I join? The ones that I've proactively reached out to, I think, are some of the ones that fit the agency perfectly. So it started with two, with Guille Caguigas and then Clementina Rio Bueno, which I think are two of the most well-liked athletes on the circuit. They're very charismatic. They're also great players. And they're very disciplined, they're responsible, they're the types of image that I want to represent the brand. So when I launched the brand, I wanted to already have some talent there so we could launch together. And they believed in the project from the beginning, so it's been amazing to have their support. And then started doing some small things. And then signed Luis Elena Perez, who's currently number one with her partner, Ana Cortiles, and I admire her so much. I love her personality, completely different than Guille or Clemen. And that also, I wanted to show that you don't have to, there's not a set characteristic that you have to fit in to be part of ESM. The whole point is you're an athlete, you're respectful, you want to compete, you want to get better, and you're a good person. So in your own personal way, how do you fit into that, right? So I'm happy to receive also inquiries from people and say, hey, how can I join? Because I do want to help more and more people. And the idea is to grow ESM corporate. So the team that's helping and having more agents so that, because I can only, do so much on my own. But we have those three, Luisa, Guille, and Clement. And then we also signed the number one junior boys.
Wow.
So we signed Alejo Khalil and super excited for him to join. And he's super excited and really looking forward to doing that.
I guess somehow it makes sense to have different personalities because if they're like clones, it's also more difficult for you to go and sell and position. So maybe, I don't know, a car brand, like this kind of traits, but this other one wants to position more into this. Or because if all of them have the same sponsors, it's not gonna work.
No, it's
gonna be like a team itself somehow.
Yeah.
And for you, in order to help really the brands, it's good to have like
variety,
like different Pokemon.
No, for sure. No. I mean, if you look at like Luis is
Pikachu.
She's Pikachu. She's explosive. She's expressive. She's loud, electric. That's going to align with a brand that also has that same like brand awareness. When people think of whatever brand, they think of this is like Luisa goes hand in hand. If you think of Clement, she's very disciplined. She's very like mellow. She's also very fired up on the court. So it's exactly that. Like, I don't want to sell a team of athletes to a brand. Each athlete will have their own separate brand deals and work with different companies and things like that. So I love being able to have diversity in the team for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And what about this young kid? Because I think it's different, right? It's a different target for the audience. But also for him, I guess it's a big responsibility to feel at a very young age. The responsibility of having brands supporting you. Yeah.
Well, he's still a minor, so the conversations went beyond him. His parents will be very involved in everything and all the decisions, and I was in that position as a tennis player. Yeah. And that's, I think, why they also trust me, because I know what it's like being young and also having a big responsibility and having goals and really big dreams. And it has to be handled differently and with care. But it's really nice to see the maturity of somebody like that knows and can understand to a certain degree what they're getting into. And I'm going to be hand in hand with him and show him, obviously, the do's and don'ts. Yeah. And there's going to be mistakes and challenges and bumps, but it's part of the process. And he's young.
You're saying you're gonna be that. You know what I would like to attend to? Maybe not now, but maybe in, 3 years' time, if I'm still doing this. Kind of go to a ESM gathering with the athletes, the company, something like that to understand like the ecosystem. Yeah. Because I feel like you're building something like that. Like your goal or your vision is like pushing that way.
Yeah. No, yeah. We have a group chat, the team. We feel like we're a team, and we're supporting each other and what we're doing, and we're happy for results. And Luisa, Clement, and I compete together.
Yeah.
And my last match was against Luisa, and of course it's like the competition is nice because we're still a small group of people still playing in the U.S. But having that support, knowing that no matter what, you have a team in a sport that's maybe not a team sport, it's a partner sport. It's nice, and I think that's also very valuable to the athletes for sure.
And out of the athletes, how do you work with events and helping clubs?
Yeah, well,
maybe it's not helping. Melvin is like pushing them to new levels or something like that. Because helping look like
it's just
more. This is not charity. This is like justice.
Well, I mean, there's different clubs popping up around the U.S. almost every day now, and then further outside of Florida, some think it's very easy. It's not like before. You don't just put a court and it's full. It's not the case anymore.
Like, if you build it, they will come. That era is over.
That idea is gone. So what are you doing differently as a club to be able to retain people, to bring new people in? And the more clubs you see, now they're offering Pilates. Now you have recovery stations. Now you have like a place to eat, because people want to provide more than just come and play. And I think, for example, Reserve with Solemia does that really well. You can spend hours there.
Yes.
You play for an hour and a half, and then you spend way longer there. So with clubs, helping them have a structure. And we partnered with Padel Edge, which is like an operating system that helps with having a formal structure for clubs, specifically for like their trainings.
Okay.
So it's you have structured training for your clients, for kids, for development. So being able to provide that, because it's a challenge, And then there's all the events that you can do at clubs. So it's everything from event management, logistics, to the sponsorship as well. So if you say, hey, if a company comes to the club and says, hey, I want to have X event, I want to do this, they can get in contact with us and we can put the whole thing together. If they're hosting a tournament, hey, we're hosting a USPA 1000, we need to raise 30,000 in sponsorship money. We come in and we support with that. So there's different tiers, different levels, but all things, events, activations, sponsorships, all of that are services we're providing too.
Really good.
Yeah.
And now let's talk a little bit about you as a player.
Yes.
You have a match in a couple of hours, I think.
Something like that.
Against my team. Bandeja Bay. In fact, we are the Bandeja Bitches.
Bandeja Babies. Bandeja Babies.
And her team always wins the league. So
let's see what happens.
We accept it. It's life.
Let's see what happens.
No, but it's okay. We have fun. Like, I have enough drama in my life as to do also paddle dramas, So
I don't like paddle drama. Let's put that on.
Yeah, but it's a Miami thing, the paddle drama. So
we don't like paddle drama.
No, I don't. I have enough drama with my real life. I'm living in Miami, so it's kind of a trend.
Yeah.
All that. No.
Yeah.
So how did you discover paddle?
Well, I have an ex-coworker who...
I thought you were going to say an ex-boyfriend.
I have those too. No, but I have an ex-coworker, someone I used to work with, who knows I played tennis before, and I had just moved back to Miami, and she said, hey, I'm playing this new sport, you might like it. And so I went and I tried it, and they were really bad. Like, they had never grabbed a racket, and obviously it's not that hard if you've played tennis before. So I'm like, oh, this is cool. There's walls. I've never heard of it. I've never seen this. Like, somebody saw me playing, and they're like, oh, I've never seen you. Like, you play tennis. Yeah, they added me to the 20,000 WhatsApp groups. But then I started, like, joining matches. I was, like, meeting new people, new friends. Started joining Pedrito's tournament at Wynwood. In the mornings, started playing more and more and more. And then I think there was, like, some Pan American games somewhere, and Andrea Samson, who I play most of my tournaments with, was like, hey, let's go play. Let's see how we do. And since then, I started competing and fell in love, and the rest is history. So cliche, but it's true.
No, but it's... You don't need to get out of the regular thing or story when
It is what
like
it
that,
is.
and
It is what it
there's
is.
a path.
Yeah.
There's a common story that also helps you also with your company, because you
Yeah.
know after this happens this and that, so
Yeah.
you can somehow plan. But talking about getting into paddle, how was your tennis life? You were a college athlete?
My
So
tennis
how was
life.
but the
Yeah.
transition, I mean, because you
No,
have
yeah.
a big amount of discipline, you know yourself.
Yeah.
So it's not a person that has been doing any other sport and discovered paddle.
No,
there
yeah,
are
yeah.
some kind of a common ground.
Yeah.
And also all those like learnings that now help you somehow.
No, yeah. I had a very I don't even know what's the word, but I had a very rigid and strict tennis life. I was homeschooled all of my education because I spent 6 to 8 hours training a day. And then when I started competing, I was 6 months out of the year outside of the country.
Okay.
I traveled a lot. I traveled with my coach. I traveled with my mom. Competed at a very, very high level. And then when I was 16, 17, I was at the point where it's like, do I continue professional or do I go to college? At that point, the NCAA was different than how it is now. You couldn't play professional because then you lose eligibility to play in college. So I had a lot of offers. I wanted to continue professional. My parents wanted me to try college. They never went to college here. They know the importance of a degree. So what we decided was, well, let me go for 1 or 2 years, train. I get access to everything. I went to an amazing school that had all the facilities, everything. Go train and then see how your level is and maybe go pro. It ended up not working out that way. I finished my 4 years, graduated, still played the 4 years at a good level. Didn't continue, and it's okay. Stopped playing. I mean, I would play maybe once every 6 months. Like go hit with my friends. But I feel like that discipline of being very young, living, not going to school, the training, the routines, everything from I was very little, helped me to how I am now. I am a person that needs routine. I'm very organized. I'm very structured. Even like when I'm dating somebody, I feel like all of our activities have to be, and it's like
the conversation.
See,
right?
I have a plan for everything.
Yeah,
it's like everything has to be like, and with my friends also, like everything lives on my Google calendar. Like everything is, and sometimes I'm like, you need to relax. But I like that I'm that way because I feel like I've been able to be successful because the way my head works is very structured. So. I think that has helped me, and I have 12 years of corporate experience at very big companies that have also helped me then now bring both the discipline of being an athlete and then the experience of being in corporate, put them together where I feel like now I'm at a point where having my own business, I feel very confident in what I'm doing. It's hard and it's been challenging, but I feel very confident in how I'm doing things.
How things work.
Like I feel good with finance, with legal stuff, at least I'm in a good place mentally with the base of the company.
And do you play for the US or?
Oh, in tennis?
No, I mean in paddle
now?
Because there's a World Cup, so
I don't know,
you're one of the aspiring
yeah.
USA paddle players.
Yeah, I play for the US. My goal this year is to play the World Cup.
Wow.
So been training hard and dedicating some time there. So yeah.
No, I think it's a great exposure and experience.
Yeah.
So I wish you the best in that. And are you gonna do the tournament for the wildcard too?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yes. I'm actually playing with Clement.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So Clement and I will be playing the wildcard tournament.
So you're gonna be one of the US couples.
Yes.
The other, I guess, is Marta and
Brit, and I'm not sure.
Andrea, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not sure who else will be playing. So yeah. Yes.
So what else do you have to tell us? Which events?
Well, let's see. I have. I'm gonna be working with PPL.
Cool.
With their new PPL2 program.
Yes, that is now for
that
something.
That is now, I've been.
If I'm looking to check your phone, so
yeah.
you can do it, and we can Live reactions.
Live
to the
reaction.
draft.
No, yeah.
So tell me, who is gonna play where?
I know.
Where are you gonna play?
Oof. Well, let's see. Let's see what happens. But regardless, I'll be working with PPO for the PPO2
You're not from
program.
Miami.
What do you mean I'm not from Miami?
You say regardless. No, irregardless.
Irregardless.
That's very Miami.
Irregardless. No.
I'm bad. I'm bad.
So,
It's a Miami
supposedly,
joke.
what
I'm
about,
bad.
yeah, no, supposedly.
Sí, pero no.
Sí, pero no, that one, sí, pero like. No. No, bueno, with PPL, we're going to be doing some cool stuff, and I'm going to be helping with their PPL2 program, so I'm super excited.
What's the PPL2 program? Because we haven't talked about that yet.
Haven't. Okay.
So I think it's a good opportunity to explain how PPL is changing. I love PPL, but it seems like they don't love me because they don't tell me anything. I'm always just chasing them. So if I have like a first-hand source, I really appreciate it.
Okay.
I try to support them, but
no, they're great. I mean, they're the way that they're restructuring.
I love them.
Yeah, no, the way they're restructuring and really
they have their priorities. That's
and they're growing, and I think they're doing a really good job with that. It's just that they, getting organized and like making sure that everything makes sense is where they're at right now. But you have the PPO normal, and then they announced in February the PPO2 program, which is for sort of think of it as a D2 of PPL for Canadians, US, and Mexican players.
Also people that live here, right?
That are here, But you have to have
O1 or
O1, P1, or a green card.
Excellent.
So it opens up the pool to a little bit more people because there's not a whole lot of Americans. So it's basically a D2 for PPL to help continue with player development for the circuit here in the US, which I think is amazing because
it's needed.
It's needed, and you get signed into one of the PPO teams. You're part of the team. You can train with them. You're part of like the activations, and that's really cool because a lot of us don't get that exposure to a lot of the international level. So it's nice to be part of something maybe bigger and have the teams also like get to know more of the US players and the USPA circuit. So I think it's awesome what they're doing, and it'll continue growing.
How is that gonna work? It's gonna be at the same time as the regular matches of the season?
Yeah. So there's only one tournament, which will be the first one that's not during the regular season, but it's really cool because the tournament will be taking place inside the Miami Open.
Ah, cool.
So
I like it.
Yeah. So the PPO is gonna have 2 courts. From the 15th of March through the 29th, and they're going to be doing a whole bunch of activations and activities and all that.
Cool.
And from the 15th through the 18th, they're going to have the first PPO2 tournament.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be really fun, and it'll be inside the grounds.
So people are going to see
the entire tennis population will be able to see.
Watching that,
Yeah, so it'll be very, very cool.
It's a good, magnet of racket people willing to join.
Yeah, and people that are going to the Miami Open will have the opportunity to play as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to be the Grinch. I hope this year put lights into the paddle courts, because last year they put a paddle court and did a little tournament inside the Miami Open, but no lights. So at 7 p.m. they should stop playing.
Yeah.
So I think someone will learn from that experience.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, you're there. Yeah,
I'll be there.
You're there to help them not make those mistakes.
Yes.
And that's why it's important to have experts.
And they love feedback as well. I think with every activity, every event that they're doing.
I had a boss, but she was a nasty boss that said, feedback is a gift.
And then hated the feedback. Yeah, I have some stories on that too, but it's okay.
Yeah, the sandwich.
Yeah.
Ya tú sabes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good, so can I check if you are on a team?
I'm not on the team yet.
I want to watch it. How can I watch it?
I think they're putting it on Instagram. They haven't posted anything yet. It's 4:10 already.
Miami time, maybe they are debating, or it's like, I want to pay more.
The first one, Jesus, this is nerve-wracking.
Well, let's say that.
Yeah, I have my notifications on, so I'll get notifications as soon as.
No, but let's do something. If I have the chance to bring someone from PPL here and explain that, we can get into how the teams are, etc. So that would be good news, to have.
Nicole's awesome.
So maybe she can come and tell us why they did that, how it's working.
Yeah.
What's the idea? What are the goals? And,
for
we
sure.
left it here for her, and then
yes,
she'll come and help us with that.
Yes.
So before you leave, what are your goals this season? Both like sports
and as a player.
Business.
Okay, I'll start business. We have business first always. We have 4 athletes. I would love to have anywhere between 6 to 8 by the end of the year, and have all of them have a major title sponsor. That's my biggest goal for all of them. We're already working with like some smaller partners, nutrition and recovery and gyms and things like that, which is great. But I want all of them to have a major title sponsor, and for sure one lined up for 2027. Would love to work with more brands as far as like on the marketing side, and provide those services as well. And with more clubs, more than just events. I want to help them get more structured, get more formal in the way that they're operating as a business.
Yeah.
And then personal, my personal goal is to balance my personal life and sleep a little more. No, I mean I'm a very competitive person by nature, and I can't give up competing yet. I feel like I just started. So I'm still dedicating some time to train, to go to the gym, doing all that. And competing at the best level that I can. Going to the World Cup is my number 1 goal this year. Being part of Team USA, has been a dream since I started playing.
Okay.
Like I saw like the friends that I made at the beginning. I'm like, I want that. So for sure, and just be the best player I can be. I'm not looking at rankings or numbers or things like that, but I definitely want to feel like I'm improving. And manage my life outside of too, spend time with my family, my friends.
From this time to this time. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, I book it. I'm like on Sunday from 11 to 1 is mom time. So
I know, don't worry.
Yeah.
And what worries you? Like, what keeps you up at night? What's the thing that is like, I wish I could like go faster on this part or expedite this?
Well, not a lot of people know this, but I left my corporate job. And
to launch this.
So
you were like all in. Hernán Cortés, quemar las naves.
So I'm going all in, and that keeps me up at night. I had my very steady salary coming in every month, and now I don't. And it's obviously, did I make the right decision? Is this going to work? What should I be doing different? But I feel good. I have a lot of support.
No one works in Miami, Just you and me, I guess.
I have a lot of support and a lot of love, and so I feel good. But it's
help you too.
Yeah, but it's not easy.
No, but you're sending a message. When people are aware of not just the effort or the talent or the ambition, but also the commitment.
Yeah,
they look at you different, I guess.
Yeah, and I hope so. I mean, I'm super excited. I feel like I've made really good relationships in the almost 2 years that I've been in this paddle world, which is also why I felt confident, because I feel like there's a lot of people that I know I can lean on and support and trust. But there's also people that I know that aren't good for me. So it's learning how to manage that and picking who I want close to me and my projects for sure. So I'm excited.
So thank you. My pleasure to have you. Thanks for coming twice. Of
course. No.
And hope you can come more often.
No, yeah, for sure.
Keep us updated.
Keep you updated with all the happenings.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.